Have you ever heard of the Japanese urban legend about a masked yokai who wears a long red cloak, haunting those using public or school restrooms late at night? If not, it goes by the name of Aka Manto. What started out as a schoolyard rumor eventually spread its way throughout Japan, with the first occurrence dating back as early as the 1930s. Many variations of this legend exist, but one part always remains true. While using the bathroom, you reach for toilet paper, when you realize there's none left. You then hear a knock on your bathroom stall, followed by a simple question: red paper or blue paper? Picking either option here ultimately results in your life coming to an end. Picking the red paper will leave you lacerated, with your corpse being drenched in blood and nearly unidentifiable. While picking the blue paper will result in Aka Manto draining all the blood from your body, leaving you blue in the face and deceased. You may be wondering, how does one escape Aka Manto? Well, today that's exactly what we'll find out with the Chilla's art game Aka Manto, which roughly translates to red cloak in English. Without further ado, let's start the game and see if we can escape this masked killer. This is where our story begins. Our protagonist is forced to spend the night at an abandoned school, after getting too close to their classmate Maiko's crush, or maybe even their boyfriend. When trying to find a way into the school, we discover that the main door is blocked off, forcing us to find another way in. After entering the school, we discover that our way out has become obstructed, the reason why being unknown. Missing girl posters seem to clutter the wall, giving the building a very desolate feeling. I mean, what if we disappear next? There's also a bathroom connected to this room, and in here is a stall asking us the dreaded question: red paper or blue paper? With the blue paper being gone, it seems we aren't the first person to be in this mess. But the question is, did they survive? Our protagonist decides to take the red paper, which opens up the bathroom stall. In here is an old key, which allows us to access more of the first floor. After unlocking the door, we find ourselves in a hallway with multiple rooms attached to it. The first room seems to be a storage closet, and in here is a dresser that just so happens to have a lighter in it, allowing us to now see in dark areas. There also appears to be a vent in this room, blocked off by some wood, which isn't able to be moved just yet. However, continuing down the hallway, we can find an unlocked classroom with a useful tool in it. This crowbar allows us to now remove the wooden planks found over any of the vents in the school. Once the wood is gone, you finally have freedom to explore wherever you like. However, you must be careful. Your main goal during your stay at the school is to avoid the masked killer Aka Manto, all while trying to escape the school alive. On your adventure, you'll need to explore around the school, solving simple puzzles and finding items to help you make it out alive. Running into Aka Manto is pretty much inevitable, but luckily the game gives you a heads up before this happens. When he's nearby, you will start to see Japanese characters appear on your screen, while a faint heartbeat starts to play, paired with a noise similar to a siren. If he gets even closer to you, you instead will see static on your screen, which is paired with a loud distorted moan. If either one of these happen to you, your best bet is to run away and find a place to hide, as he isn't actually chasing you just yet. Now if he does manage to find you, you'll hear a loud scream and a fast-paced heartbeat. At this point, your only option is to run, since hiding doesn't always work mid-chase. Luckily, your stamina bar doesn't go down much at all, probably due to adrenaline. To avoid Aka Manto, you can hide in lockers, cabinets, and even bathroom stalls found around the school. But like I just mentioned, these only work if you aren't in a chase to begin with. Another useful tip for avoiding Aka Manto is to hide in the vents, since you can't actually go inside them. This makes it a great place for not only hiding, but also stashing items. You also need to watch out for these red portals scattered around the school, as these act as a teleportation point for Aka Manto. Now, if you think Aka Manto is your only threat in the school, then you'd be sadly mistaken. On the second and third floor, a glowing mask roams the halls, searching for anyone that crosses its path. If it notices you, a loud heartbeat will start to play, paired with a strange noise. When this happens, the mask alerts Aka Manto to your exact location. Not even the vents are fully safe. In here, you can find a giant centipede that randomly travels throughout its maze-like pathways. If you manage to run into it, it'll make a loud hissing noise and attack you. Listen closely for any sounds indicating it's nearby, especially around corners. There's also some spiders that appear on the school floors once you reach a certain point in the game. When you run into them, they trap you in place, forcing you to mash out of their grasp. To deal with them, you can use the spider killer spray found in the second floor girls' bathroom. There's also this harmless spirit that is just meant to give you a scare. Lastly, although not an enemy, don't stick your hand in the fans. Not all is bad in the school, however, as there are some friendly entities you can find that will help you with your endeavors. This well, for example, found in the first floor vent, actually talks to you when interacted with. After collecting 100 yen for the well, you not only get a key item, but also advice on how to defeat Aka Manto, which is very helpful. You can also find a girl on the roof of the school who's able to help you, but we'll discuss her a bit later. After you've been playing the game for a little bit, you will hear a loud chime start to play. This seems to be based off the Westminster chimes, which play to mark the passing of time. Although this doesn't seem to do anything, I thought it was interesting enough to bring up. However, once you reach the halfway point of the game, you will hear a noise that matters. This loud yell indicates to the player that Aka Manto is frustrated, and even stronger. When this happens, Aka Manto moves much faster and becomes much more aggressive. His appearance slightly changes as well, with his cloak becoming a darker red and his mask having a more ominous look to it. He also does even more damage per hit, forcing you to play more reserved than usual. The good thing is, if you start to take a lot of damage, you can actually find healing items around the map. These come in the form of band-aids and energy drinks. No matter what health you're at, healing items will always bring you back to full health, which is definitely nice, especially later in the game when you need them the most, so make sure you save them. Now, there are two different endings to this game, and we're going to start by covering the escaped ending. On the second floor, there's a science room which has an incomplete anatomy model in it. Graffiti's on the ground that reads, "Bring me the 7 parts." These are scattered all around the school, some in harder places to find than others. The nose can be found in the vents. The brain and left arm can both be found inside of classrooms on the second floor. The rib cage can be found in the room next to the science room. The eyes can be found in the pool changing area. The right arm can be found in this room in the library. And lastly, the organ can be found here. This may just look like a wall, but actually there's a room behind it. If you push these 3 books back into the bookshelves found in the library, the wall will actually open up, leading to a hidden room, with the organ sitting on a sink. When you're finally done collecting all the anatomy parts, you can place them in the anatomy model. giving you a rope, which can be used to escape from the roof of the building. But before you can access the roof, you need to help this mysterious girl I mentioned earlier. She appears to be hungry, so we need to grab her some food to eat. Luckily, there's a vending machine in the cafeteria that dispenses an item every time you deposit 100 yen into it. After depositing 300 yen, you will get a band-aid, milk, and finally a kopepan. After grabbing the food and drink, we can go back up to the door and hand it to her. We find out her name is Nagisa, but we still aren't entirely sure why she's here. After helping her, she decides to give us a hand by opening up the door to the roof, allowing us to escape with the rope we were given. The girl ran as fast as she could. She arrived at the police station, trying to catch her breath. She explained everything. The police didn't seem to believe her, but they investigated the old school building anyway. The policemen told her that maybe she was just seeing things, and that she should go home and rest. As she walked back to her house, the girl thought to herself, maybe I was just seeing things. Maybe I'm just stressed out. Maybe it was all just a bad dream. But what if it wasn't? Another body found dead, brutally slashed multiple times with a sharp object. The identity of the body is still unknown due to the disfigured nature of the corpse. But the current autopsy report says that the victim is a high schooler, female, and about the age of 16. Police suspect that this is the work of the unknown serial killer, dubbed simply as the Slasher, due to the matching MO. Authorities recommend civilians to avoid traveling alone, especially during the night. Now let's talk about the Aka Manto killed ending. In the first floor hallway, there's a classroom that is being held shut by a dark spirit. In order to open this door, you need to grab the Ofuda talisman, which is located in a dresser in the third floor library. Placing this on the door opens up the classroom, which turns out to be a shrine room. The shrine in the middle of the room houses the 7 papers found around the school, which again will need to be found. The red paper is found in the first floor girls' bathroom. The indigo paper is found in the vents. The blue paper is found by giving 100 yen to the well from earlier. The orange paper is found in the first floor boys' bathroom. The purple paper is found in the pool area upstairs. The yellow paper is found in the pool itself. And lastly, the green paper is found on the roof of the school. Once you find all the papers, you can place them in the shrine to get the Kusanagi no Tsurugi. This sword can be used to stab Aka Manto and kill him for good. The deed was done. The girl stood completely still for a while, just staring at the velvet red cloak that now lay before her. Suddenly, as if she finally realized what she had done, she started to run without ever looking back. The next day felt like any other. Maybe it was just a dream, the girl thought, but the ringing sensation in her hand told her otherwise. The fact that she stabbed a man with her own 2 hands, it was too surreal for her to believe. Was that person even human? Or was it something else? She had to go back to that abandoned school building. She had to confirm what had really happened. The school building was exactly as she remembered it, except just one thing. The body wasn't there. No evidence of it being moved or cleaned up after either. Just gone, vanished into thin air, like nothing had ever happened. The girl returned home. She lay in bed, staring into the darkness, just trying to make sense of it all. Months have passed since the last serial killing by an unknown slasher, and there was no sign of it ever appearing again. The rumor of the slasher spread and soon became a popular urban legend amongst teenagers. They started to call the slasher Aka Manto, and he is said to be a masked spirit who wears a red cloak, and who appears to people using school restrooms. But no one is certain if the legend was based on a true story or not. While exploring the school, you can also find audio recordings. There are 10 of these located around the school that explain the story of how Aka Manto came to exist. The recordings follow a boy by the name of Atsushi, who is a transfer student to a new school. He's described as good-looking and in only 1 week stole most of the attention at school. The principal's kid, Kobayashi, doesn't like this, as he and his friends used to be the center of attention. So Kobayashi and his group start to bully Atsushi. Due to the bullying, Atsushi decides to talk to the school guidance counselor, named Nakajima. Nakajima explains how much trouble Kobayashi and his group have given him, so he uses this as an opportunity to catch them once and for all. Nakajima gives Atsushi a tape recorder so he can hopefully get concrete evidence of the bullying to get them in trouble. But instead, Atsushi uses it to record his bad home life, specifically with his father, named Mr. M. Atsushi's dad is a highly respected politician whose slogan is to never lie. However, according to Atsushi, he's as two-faced as they come. Atsushi's father beats him on a regular basis, and recently it only seems to be getting worse. So he decides to record one of the altercations, where we discover Atsushi's mother left him at a young age, being part of the reason why his father beats him so much. With evidence in hand, Atsushi decides to show Nakajima the tape, but Nakajima is no help. He tells Atsushi to stay away from him and to never talk to him again. Atsushi then talks about how he tries discussing these beatings to many people, but nobody seems to ever believe him, due to his father's power as a politician. However, recording these altercations puts Atsushi at ease, so he continues to do so. That is until we hear from him for the final time. Atsushi's dad, who is revealed to also be a terrible alcoholic, hits Atsushi in the face for the first time, causing him to become lightheaded. From the force of the hit, Atsushi loses blood and eventually passes out. We are then told that Atsushi ended his own life, his body found covered in cuts. Later on, Nakajima and their co-worker Tanaka are discussing the death of Atsushi, wondering why he put himself through so much pain. Tanaka then announced to Nakajima that Atsushi's dad was found dead recently the same exact way, his body cut to shreds, with no one knowing how or why it happened. This leaves Nakajima silent, and Tanaka concerned why. Tanaka then decides to use the bathroom when he hears a knock on the bathroom stall. He then hears a voice asking the dreaded question, red paper or blue paper? Tanaka, frustrated, picks the blue paper and sees who he believes to be Atsushi, and he was exactly right, with Atsushi's final line being, "Beauty is what's on the inside." Aka Manto is more than just another horror game. It's something special. It's a short, well-crafted, terrifying adventure that is nothing short of amazing. The mix of uneasiness and anxiety you feel throughout the entire game is unrivaled to almost anything I've ever played. When I first played this game, I didn't know if I could finish it, and even now it still scares me every time. And with that, the curtain's closed. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.